Y'all, Wizard101 kind of just had an insane week, and I would be a criminal not to make a video about this. I don't know why they did so much of this in just the past few days. It really goes to show the amount of effort that they're putting in to new updates, to making sure that the player base feels engaged, and if you haven't seen it, I want to make sure y'all see it. So first, we have what I believe is a contender for the most unexpected thing Wiz has ever done. So basically, right, Wizard101 just turned 15, and I guess they just put out a video commemorating it. Nothing big. Right? Nothing big. I'm gonna react to it right now. By the way, fair warning, if you haven't seen this, like, I'm not joking, I deadass teared up. So let's just start. So it starts very, like I wasn't expecting anything, you know? Okay, it's a person playing Wiz, right? Oh, they got an egg. Oh, I got a pickle. Oh, okay, nice. Very nice. And then it just starts like, watch, this is like right here. This is where I was like, what? What do you mean? We see this person growing up. That person looks like me, I think. I don't think it's me. And then after that beautiful Mouse there fight, you see all of these life events. Graduation, moving in, defeating old cop. I don't know how that's a life moment, but you know, whatever. We'll let it. The death of a pet. Oh my God, man. And then, obviously, the symbolic rebirth and the continuation of a new wizard in Wizard101. And then they go back and you go from a crusty box computer to like a nice monitor, nice PC, family sitting together. I mean, man, perfection. And I don't know, man, you know, when people ask me like, you know, why I'm playing Wiz, what I see in this game, you know, how I could possibly stay playing a game for this long. I feel like a lot of those reasons somehow, without actual words, were really captured in that video, and I think a lot of people agreed. And I don't know, maybe I'm like, this is just the analytical part of my mind just ruining something beautiful. But why isn't this their advertising campaign? Like, why don't they put this out? I mean, I guess they did put it out on social media. But I feel like whatever feeling they tapped into, whatever insane talent went into this, that should be what they use for all kinds of stuff to bring new players into the game. I think a lot of the, you know, the features that I've really liked, I mean, they stuck true to their values, right? They're still trying to be a family game, and I think, you know, they're making that very apparent. But it's worth noting that they're acknowledging the fact that a lot of the kids that grew up with this game are now much older. So it is geared towards adults as well. And by the way, I would like to note the insane early success of this video already. On Twitter, this video has almost 200,000 views. That is literally nuts. And for all my people out here who's wondering, like, you know, like, how long do you have to watch a video for it to count as a view? Well, on YouTube, if you watch for about 4 seconds, it counts as a view. On Twitter, I want to say it's slightly less. That being said, for there to have been that many people watching it, surely a lot of people engaged with this content and maybe even found the game for the first time in a while again. I cannot stress enough how insanely successful this was. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'd be lying if I said I didn't tear up a little bit. I got emotional. I was like, God damn, bro, they got me. You know, I just woke up. I wasn't even expecting to be like, you know, I was expecting a normal ass day. But yes, they somehow simultaneously tugged at the player's heartstrings while also putting out something that could easily draw people into the game. I love what they did with that. But if that was the only thing they did, I wouldn't call this like an insanely crazy week for King's Eye. I mean, okay, they put out a banger of a video, but like, you know, what makes it so insane, Sauce? They've also coupled this with many other things that are completely new for Wizard101. A few days ago, if you guys have been watching the channel, you know, turning on noties, if you haven't done it, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but you might have noticed that one thing that they're doing for the release of the upcoming world of Wallaroo is that they're adding like a mini website. And what you see on your screen is multiple installations of like teasers and lore building and all the stuff that they're doing right out the gate before Test Realm even drops. And just a short 2 days ago, they actually put out a very weird situation, like, you know, like a post on this. And this is a really interesting tactic, right? First off, they're using a character that has almost no identity in Wizard101, even though you see him in the Wizard City library all the time. So it's a very recognizable person that people have probably seen, but nobody really knows what he does. But he basically did like some sort of like, you know, historical analysis, I guess, of the world of Wallaroo that we're all about to experience. And they dropped a lot of lore. They're building lore before we even really see the world or engage with the characters. That is a very good strategy. And I'm not gonna lie, it does look like a little crusty, but I feel like the vibes is that it's like, you know, maybe like a high school student or a college student or something, like, you know, put it in a paper, like it's like an assignment type of thing. I want to say that's why it looks like a Google Doc, but I don't know, maybe they just ran out of time, but I don't know, I like the vibes, I don't know, maybe I'm stupid. But there's actually a lot of history here. Apparently Wallaroo has not been, you know, a world destroyed by a titan or wasn't lost to history like some of the other worlds we've been to. It's actually been a world that was invaded by the Crocs and by Marleybone before. So this is something that is much more a part of the spiral than I would have assumed leading up to this post. And that's very important, right? That means that maybe we might go to other worlds during the pre-quest to learn about Wallaroo. We might, like, you know, find history that ties to other things and makes us learn about other parts of the game. That's really cool. You start seeing it get tied into Wiz and the spiral a lot more because it's just not a world that we see mentioned a lot. One interesting tidbit that they added was that when the Crocs invaded Wallaroo, apparently the primary residents of Wallaroo, the kangaroos, like punched them away. So it makes me think that maybe this is a world of kangaroos, and we might actually see the one kangaroo that we've actually interacted with up to this point, Judge Veg. We might see him make like a reappearance. Judge Veg is a very interesting character. They actually didn't say what happened to him, but it was implied that something very tragic happened to him. So who knows? We might actually get some resolution on a character that I feel like for some reason has become kind of popular within the player base. I don't know why that man's has, I've seen a lot of people talk about him. And finally, as if all of this stuff wasn't enough, they also started a slight redesign on the Wizard101 website. If you guys go on the Wizard101 website, some of the text looks a lot cleaner. Now, I think this is probably going to be the thing that, you know, as usual, some people are going to love it. Some people are going to be like, eh. It's a change to something that we've had for many years, right? But honestly, I think if it's a new player looking at it, they're going to prefer the new version over the old version every time. And I made a whole video about this. I think the website is one of the small things that really does like have big impacts in terms of holding back. Like you don't want to like click on a website and think it's so old that it's not even worth, like, you know, looking into anymore. It looks like they're taking that as like a priority, which is really cool to see because I actually don't think a website redesign is actually that much of a resource intensive thing. I think even small things like, you know, how colorful the visuals are, where they're placed, you know, how moving things are presented to the viewer, text, that type of stuff is pretty changeable. Like, you know, like you could do it pretty quickly. So I'm glad that they're doing this too, man. And honestly, all these things combined is why I really think this has been a crazy good week for Wizard101. I think it goes to show, even during like, you know, periods of like, you know, no updates, I guess, for Wiz, which is very, like this happens in September. Even with all of that, they're still doing things that are improving the health of the game, and I just don't think that's something we saw last year. So I wanted to make a video talking about it. Honestly, it just made me happy to see them doing all of these things. I think it's really good for the game. But I'd love to hear y'all's opinions on this, man. Do you guys think that all of these things are good? What are your opinions on all of them? The video, the website redesign, the Wallaroo teaser? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to reading all of them. As always, if somebody hasn't told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. Stay awesome. See y'all soon. And yeah.